Welcome back to the channel, folks. If you've never felt the death wobbles in your Jeep, my God, are you missing out? It is the most exciting, it's the most frightful, terrifying thing you've ever experienced. If you've experienced it while on the freeway at 65 miles an hour, you've literally thought you were going to die for a split second, and then trying to figure out how to stop it. Wow. I have recently, after coming back from the Colorado River trip, been exposed to the death wobbles. I've seen it one other time on a Jeep on the freeway and thought, geez, that looks crazy. And then I experienced it for myself and literally thought I was going to die for a second. There's like 15 different things that could be wrong, and it could be one or it could be all of them. I'm not a mechanic. I'm not going to be able to diagnose it myself. I do know this, everything is stock underneath there. It's got 62,000 miles on it all, and I'm wondering if it's not just worn out. Hopefully it's not going to cost me an arm and a leg. Stay tuned. It's happened about 6 or 7 times, and man, it's scary. It's freaking scary. You think the whole wheel, all the wheels are gonna wobble off. I read things that said, oh, accelerate through it. Doesn't work on this death wobble. Slow down. The minute you hit the brakes, it gets worse. Happens about 65 to 70 miles an hour. Happens when you hit just a certain type of bump. I'm on the freeway right now doing 50. And, you know, there's bumps every now and then and it doesn't cause it. But then you'll hit a certain kind of sort of off camber or not equally hitting the tires at the same time kind of bump. And it's over, man. Got to get it fixed. Anyway, I am heading to a shop, Auto Locators in Yucaipa, California. And they're going to diagnose it. We'll see what they say. I'll let you know. Alright, so the outcome on the breakdown of the death wobble, and I'm still going to try and get it on video for you guys, because nothing's been fixed yet. But it was diagnosed yesterday. Right front shock is blown. Those are Fox shocks. Also, they want me to change the stabilizer, and they said the rotors need to be turned. So, oh, and the wear on the BFG KO2s is significant and could possibly be causing part of this problem, which I knew they were worn and it was time to get new ones. So right now I'm on my way to American Tires or Discount Tires, same business, depends on where the location is, in Moreno Valley, to get 4 new 35-inch BFG KO2s put on. Kind of hoping to wait for the KO3s. I think they're a little bit more, and now that I have all these fixes to do, I'm spending almost $4,000, and that's me doing some of the labor. Anyway, tires today, shocks, stabilizer, and rotors, and brake pads as soon as they get here, and we'll hope that takes care of the problem. I'll keep you guys posted. Good morning. It's early. It's overcast, which is good because it won't be hot while I'm doing fix number 2 for the death wobble. The shocks, the Falcon 3.3 adjustables. Never done it before. Shouldn't be hard. It's 2 bolts per. I mean, how hard can it be? Jeep wave. All right, folks. Morning. Today is install day for the Falcon shocks. I'm excited. Probably not as excited as I should be. Spent a lot of money to fix the death wobble problem. But the shocks needed to be done anyway because the Fox shocks were blown. So we're going to get into this. Unfortunately, there were no set bolt or screws for the covers on the rear shocks in the kit. And there's not a single direction in there. However, Falcon does a great job because they have a video that makes it look easy and simple, and I'm sure it won't be easy and simple for me, but we'll figure it out today. So stay tuned and we'll get this thing done in no time. I always want to be sure to block the tires. Wheels underneath just in case, guys. So it says to cut this out. It's supposed to come with a template. Of course, no directions, no template. So I'm going to get a little creative. It's going to be the same on both sides. I'm going to take it up and over. And instead of cutting a hole, I'm just going to open this up. And it'll still have its rigidity. And I got a special tool for that. And my special tool is a Rotozip spiral saw. Should make quick work of this. Let's see what happens. My Fox shocks have done me well for almost 4 years. It's time to say goodbye. Goodbye. So you know which shock goes on which side of the car. Falcon has done a wonderful thing and put a number. 1 is for the passenger side, and if it has a 2, it's for the driver's side. So that way you know which side they go on. I think it's kind of obvious, but good for them for helping us non-mechanics out. Factory bolt slides up in here. We'll leave the top bolt loose until we can figure out how to compress the shock and get that bolt in, and then tighten it all up and torque it down. That's it. So one of the hardest parts of this whole job is getting the shock compressed. Oh, missed it by that much. Start over. Took me about 5 tries on the other side. Whew. That's why I wear gloves. Boom! Just gotta put this on here and torque it down. Front end done. Tires back on. I already did that side. It's time for this side. So that's it, that's the front end. Now we got to do the back end. This is clearly not a how-to. This is just a me installing video. Otherwise I'd get way more detailed. So if you're here for a how-to, sorry. Although you do get to see how it goes on and off and how it all works. I guess it could be a how-to. Says to remove this lower panel, so that's what we're going to do. It says we can either trim that up or leave it off. I'm not sure. I might leave it off. I think I'm still going to have to trim up here, but we'll see. So compressing the rear shocks has been a real pain in my butt. The jack didn't work. Tried zip ties to hold it down. That didn't work. Then I came up with this little rope with a slip knot, and that worked. Set the shock on 3 so that it's the loosest you can get it. Then I'm going to compress it and hold it with this slip knot, and he'll put it in really fast. So I already got this side in. Just got to tighten it down and then torque it. So I'll show you how I compress it and hold it with the rope. It's a hot day. I just spent probably 2 hours trying to figure out how to compress this back shock to put it in, and I've now gotten both of them on in about 10 minutes, including filming. So we're having the same problem. There's a solution. And for all those paying close attention, I did not forget to put this on. It goes on here like so, and I think it protects the shaft from any debris. The problem is there's the 3-prong on the bottom of the shock, and in the directions it says the screws will be, or the bolts will be in there. You take them out, you put this on, and you bolt them in. Well, they weren't in there, and they weren't in the box along with the directions. I made 2 trips to try and find the right bolts today. I came close, but in the end they didn't have the ones that I needed. We're done. I got to put the tires on, and we'll take it for a spin and see what happens. See what we think. I think it turned out well. 1 is tight, 3 is a little bit loose. 3 is actually kind of like how it was driving on the Fox shocks just before the install today. 1 is much less swaying, so that's good. I'm happy with that. Today's quick project, which is actually only supposed to be 11 steps according to the directions, which thankfully were in the box this time for the Falcon stabilizer shock. That's what we're doing today. It's fix number 3 in the Death Wobble saga. So we're going to get this stabilizer on there, hopefully in just these 11 steps, and not take 4 hours. 1 of 3, 2 of 3. Let's leave that one on. So it's like this, this, and that. I installed step 3 of the Death Wobble fix, which is the steering stabilizer for Falcon. I've driven around town with it set at 1, and I've driven around town with it set at 2. 1 is stiff, and they say for freeway or highway windy driving. 2 is for city / off-roading, and 3 is soft and for off-roading. What I am doing right now is getting on the freeway to do a final Death Wobble test with all the fixes in place, which includes, if you don't recall from watching this video, or you skip to the end, it includes the brand new 35-inch KO2 tires. It includes the 3.3 Falcon shocks, adjustable shocks, and now the steering stabilizer from Falcon. It's pretty much fixed after the tires. It was certainly fixed after the shocks were added, and I'm hoping that the stabilizer just puts this whole thing to rest, and I can put it behind me as a first and maybe hopefully last experience with the Death Wobbles. Let's see. I got to get to the spot, and this is the spot, folks, right here. Multiple off-camber, slightly weird bumps that have caused the Death Wobbles every single time, and nothing. I've literally been pulled over on the side of the freeway right here, trying to get out of the way of the traffic that I had just caused by slowing down to stop the Death Wobbles. It's a win. It's an absolute win, because I know that caused the wobbles, and it just didn't do it. Not even close. Didn't feel weak, nothing. Just solid as a rock, made it through. So that's a fix for some of the Death Wobbles. Could be your tires. It could be your shocks. It could be your stabilizer. That's one that they say is like a catch-all, but not really a fix. So be careful with that one alone. But that one, along with the other two, and possibly your rotors, all things to check that now I know I don't necessarily have to go get it checked out by a mechanic before I start looking at those things specifically more directly. If I ever get the Death Wobbles again. Death to the Death Wobbles. I won. I beat them. I'm moving on with my life. I spent too much money on this problem. It's not a cheap fix sometimes, folks, so be prepared for that. Hey, thanks for watching this video. If you're liking the content, think about subscribing. You can like the videos, you can share the videos, you can hit the bell button to get notified for when the next video comes out. But I have to thank those that have been subscribed, following, and watching my videos for 4 years now. I can't say how much I appreciate you and the new followers so very much. We'll see you all in the next video.